All right, guys. So it seems as if there's a lot of hints that the San Antonio Spurs may try to move up in this upcoming draft.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, so moving up is probably bad language there. More like just get an extra pick. So let's see here. So there's quite a few players, or at least a couple players thus far that I found that the Spurs have interviewed already. I'm going to give you my thoughts over these two players, and then I'll tell you a player in particular that I think will be a little bit more attainable. But with that being said, let's go into clanthemerchfan.com. If you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description, or become a patron or YouTube member, only $2 per month. But yeah, I thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. 11K is absolutely ridiculous, insane, but yeah, I really appreciate it. All right, let's dive into it. All right, so the San Antonio Spurs will be holding, which this is a few days ago, okay? I'm a little late on it. I knew about it, but yeah, I'm a little late talking about it. One of the Thompson twins, Amen, that is. Who will likely be selected with a top 6 pick in the upcoming draft. He has already met with the Hornets, Rockets, and Pistons, who all have picks in that range. And here's the thing. So the Spurs have shown interest in Thompson for a minute. I don't know if you guys recall the article that we went over in which people were saying, well, they might not take Scoot if they landed 2 and they would take the Thompson twin. So I have no idea. So let's start with him. What are my thoughts on Amen Thompson? Okay. So, 2 thoughts going on in my head. Number 1, I wasn't super high on him. I actually like his brother more, even though I understand that Amen is more athletically gifted than Ausar. But I just like Ausar more as far as like his base level right now. I think he's a better defender. I think that he plays a little bit more control than his brother. And I think that he, as far as like assist-wise and facilitating, he's pretty good. It just doesn't aesthetically look as good as Amen's. I mean, their stats are like mirror images of each other in a lot of aspects. But with that being said, there's also a big but here when it comes to both of them, and that comes over to that goes to their turnover ratio. It's really bad to be in the league that they're in with like 16 to 19, 20-year-olds. And the amount of turnovers that they get per game is not great. Now, it might just be them trying to show what they're worth because they know that they're top lottery picks or anything like that. But I don't think that's the case from the games that I've seen. They just get, I don't know, especially Amen just gets a little bit out of control, tries to do a little bit too much, and turns the ball over. But those are my first thoughts. Okay, here's my second thought. I would be ecstatic if they grabbed Amen. Now the reason being is because we already got our guy. Like that's all that matters right now. You got your guy. The only reason why I was hesitant before is because I thought that if we were to get him, in any type of like reality would be, this is the only guy that we got in the lottery. But since we got our guy, I do not care. Like, yes, take the time, develop him. I don't care that we have Blake Wesley. I don't care that we have Trey Jones. This dude, he really is good. And his athletic ability is top notch. His facilitation's top notch. So yeah, get him. Maybe we can work on his jump shot and whatnot and go from there. So that's one player where I'm like, oh yes, that will be a decent one if they could do that. But that's going to be pretty tough, man. Because yeah, he's probably going to, they say top 6. I'm thinking he would land 4 or 5. I mean, if Brandon Miller falls, then who knows, because I mean, we still don't know what, how teams are going to feel about Brandon Miller with the incident that happened. So we'll see. But yeah, that would be great. And more than likely, if you're asking like, what would they give up? I mean, they're probably going to have to give up, I would assume, a few first round picks, maybe 2 first round picks, 2025, maybe 2024. The thing is, in 2025, we don't need all those picks. I think we have about 3 picks, and we probably won't need all of those. So who knows? But they would have to give up a pretty penny for him, and probably Keldon, honestly. All right, but moving on. So Jarace Walker. So this is another player that I really do like. If you guys don't know much about Jarace Walker, just think Jeremy Sohan. I mean, he's a very similar build. Maybe he has slightly higher upside offensively as far as scoring, but I don't necessarily think so. I think Sohan and him is probably like neck and neck. But defensive wise, they are very similar, like very similar builds, can guard 1 through 5. I really like the way Jarace Walker can guard guards even more than Sohan. But then again, I mean, I'm comparing it from NBA play and college, and sometimes that can get a little mixy. are mixed up. So we'll have to wait and see there. But overall, I do like him. But my only problem here with Jarace Walker, even though he's one of my favorites, is the fact that usually when you're building a team and you're building a championship team, you only need one Jarace Walker, and we already have one in Jeremy Sochan. Like kind of like a glue guy, does a little bit of everything, really great defender. You kind of only need one. Now, don't get me wrong, you can have multitude of them, but in today's NBA, I mean, you got your Jeremy Sochan. You know, you need to build around that. Get some guards that can shoot, some wings that can shoot very well. Jarace Walker isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying his playing style and everything that he does, he's very similar to Sochan. I don't know if that will be necessarily worth it to trade up, but I do like him a lot. So overall, I like Ausar more than Amon, but if they got Amon, I will be ecstatic. And then Jarace Walker, I don't think that that's necessary to trade up for him. But yeah, so here's someone that I think is a little bit more attainable, that more than likely would only take maybe a player and a pick. And that will be your boy Anthony Black. Now, I'm not like the biggest, hugest fan. We've done a video on him before. I'm not like the hugest fan in the world or anything like that. But as far as his facilitation skills as a guard, I think that he is very manageable. I think that he will be a step up, and that will be an upgrade at that spot. Now, will he be like a star in the NBA? I don't necessarily think so. But overall, I do like his overall game. Actually, here, I'll bring this up because, and we went over it before, but I probably should have did this before. Let's look at what Scouting Live had to say. So here he is. So 6'7" guard. He is, they say, solid scorer off the dribble. It says he's scoring on hustle plays, tremendous free throw generator, solid playmaker, solid rebounder for his size, solid defender that can get steals and blocks, good athlete, versatile player that can play multiple positions. Cons: needs to improve his shooting, must extend his shooting range, and those are the big things. But the thing about it, you might say, oh, that's ugly. It will be the same issue that you have with Amon anyways. He has to improve his. Can display spotty shot selection. Can be careless on offense, which can lead to turnovers. Some of these cons, the exact same things that you're going to see from Amon, okay? That's why I'm saying, hey, if we don't have to give up as much, you can still get a very solid guard there. Unselfish to a fault, can struggle to guard quicker players at times. All right, so he is a skilled point forward that can reliably run the team and make hustle plays on both ends of the floor. He will need to improve his jump shot, but he is a tall playmaker that could be a lottery pick in 2023 draft, which he will be. So I like players like this anyways, like those point forward types. Like you can put it at the guard position. I mean, he's 6'7", pretty tall. But I like those like Kyle Anderson types. Not saying he's anything like Kyle, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm a sucker for those. And I just think that if you're going to take that risk and have to trade, some players or trade some picks, if you don't want to necessarily go all out, because I just feel like trying to get Amon Thompson, you're going to have to go all out because he's a really good player. If you don't want to do that and someone that's a little bit more attainable, I think Anthony Black is a good direction to go in. But let me know who you think. Is there any players that you think that the Spurs should trade up for? But thus far, that's all I'm hearing is Amon and Jarace, but I'm sure there's like way more that we'll get to. But anyways, I'll get with you guys later. Till next time. Bye.